Hello everyone. Hi, my name is Sunil and I'm very excited to introduce you about Red Hat OpenStack platform. Today we'll talk about Red Hat OpenStack platform, which is a very powerful tool to build a enterprise cloud. Even you can call it as a private cloud as well. Okay, and which is very much demanded into the market right now. So today what we are going to cover is we are going to cover explore what is the OpenStack is, why RHOSP is a game changer, which is very much demanded in the market right now. And what is the latest version of OpenStack 17, 18s? Okay, and how they are working with very useful and working with shaping industries like telecom, banking, finance, everywhere. And also we'll see what is RHOSP is critical for modern cloud infrastructures and how we can contribute that in a different kind of fields. Okay, so let's just start with it. Uh, we will understand the OpenStack and its usefulness as well, the features and everything. So, what is OpenStack? If we talk about the terms, a lot of people's having a misunderstanding about the OpenStack. What is OpenStack is? Okay, so OpenStack is a open source cloud computing platforms, like for where we will build, manage infrastructures. Basically, you can call it like a IaaS cloud. So we have three type of clouds, like clouds, or you can say technologies. We have IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS, right? So OpenStack will lay onto the IaaS part. So, so imagine you are managing a data center with thousands of servers, and you need a software to control your computing power, storage, network efficiencies. But that where the OpenStack come in. Okay, it's an open source platform for building the IaaS clouds, meaning it provide the virtual resources like virtual machines or VMs and over the internet as well. And either even if you want to deploy that over the internet as well, yes, you can deploy it. OpenStack manage three core resources. Okay, that is we call it as a computes, which is like your CPUs. Okay, so generally, I will explain this part when I talk about RHOSP more. Okay, but here I'm explaining you like it support a public, private, hybrid cloud. A lot of these clouds they can manage. They can manage your compute nodes. They can manage your storage nodes. They can manage your network nodes. So generally, why I'm saying the compute, storage, and networking resources over here. So when you talk about your compute, it's like your CPU is running app. Storage, like if you want to save any data, something you need a storage, right? And networking, like whatever you are connecting, everywhere you are going over internet, you are going VM to VM, you are going to storage, you are going. So you need a networking. So there's all the three major resources they are going to manage in a cloud. It also support a public clouds, okay, like public, private, hybrid clouds. And there is a few components which we will learn, okay, which is first is the Nova one. Okay, what does this Nova do? What does this Nova basically do? Nova is kind of compute resources. What does it do? It's handle the compute resources like when you're launching the VMs. Okay, talk about Neutron, as I mentioned above. So if you are managing your networking part, like managing networking, like assigning IP addresses, routers creation, uh, floating IP creations, load balancers, everything come under this Neutron service. Then come the Cinder part, which is for your block storages. It's like your hard disk of the VMs. So you will get a block level storage here. Okay, same come with a Swift. It's a kind of object storage. Okay, like your cloud backups. So you'll open Google Drives and everything. That is cloud drive. So you can also create your uh, object storage in OpenStack. It's a good part, right? Now come the heat. Like you nowadays, no one want to do a manual work, right? Everyone want automations part. So heat is there for automation resources setups, like scaling up, scaling down. A lot of things you can do from here. And OpenStack is a community drive with new releases. Every 6 months you will get, most probably near about 6 months you will get it, like Queens, Rocky. Okay. And this keep the cutting edge, but it's need expertise to manage. Where which is where RHOSP shines. Okay. So let's just move to the next slide. So here is RHOSP. Okay. Now let's just talk about RHOSP, which is Red Hat OpenStack Platform. Okay, it's a Red Hat version of OpenStack. Before that, what I told you, that is a open source, but now this is a Red Hat OpenStack. Okay, think of OpenStack. OpenStack as a raw integrity like floor. Okay, but RHOSP is a delicious cake baked with the Red Hat enterprise grade enhancement. It built or upstream of OpenStack, but yeah, adds on feature for a production environment. So it's very suitable for a production environment when you're talking about. Okay. Uh, RHOSP offer long-term supports. Okay, it will offer you long-term support for 5 years. Okay, ensuring stability. It's certified to work for a specific hardware like Dell, HP. Okay, if you have a customized hardware, yes, it's support and integrated with Red Hat ecosystems, including RHEL. Okay, and even it's for OpenShift container as well, and Ansible for automations. Okay, so in this environment, basically we will do multiple things. Okay, we have one feature over here that is a we can call it as a triple O. Okay, so we will call it as a triple O feature. Triple O means the performance of the installation. How do you performing it? Like we can automate the deployment in deployment via director. That is, we'll call it as a triple O with Ansible. Okay, so there is a three triple O. What does mean? OpenShift, sorry, OpenStack on OpenStack. So it's very ideal for enterprise needed scalability, security, reliability. So finally, RHOSP powers diverse industries like telecom for network functionality, banking for analytics, healthcare for patient records, retail for e-commerce, researchers company for big data. So this basically give you a real world impact. Okay, for telco companies, like they are using RHOSP to manage their 5G network, 6G network, which we'll see on later slides as well. Okay, so this is a big features and big turnaround for RHOSP. Talking about some features over here for RHOSP, that is first thing is scalability. Okay, so it's managing thousands of VMs, containers, and bare metal servers. So generally, sorry. So generally, when you talk about features over here, okay, when you talk about features over here, so Nova is the best thing. Neutron, Sender, Heat, Ironic, OpenShift, integrations, data nodes. So these are kind of features we are talking about over here. It's OpenStack. Uh, Basically, OpenStack is a kind of things which we have just talked about. Okay, and if you talk about scalability, flexibility, cost effective, automation, industry application, okay, so you will get each and everything over here. Okay, so best thing is this Ansible, Heat, OpenShift, uh, streamlined operations. Okay, you will support a hybrid, avoid vendor lock-in. So there is no vendor lock-in over here. Okay, in OpenStack. Okay, you can manage thousands of VM container, bare metal servers. Okay, and you can do whatever you want to do. It's your own private cloud. It's a kind of like, let's suppose in AWS you have a limitations. You cannot go to the VMs. Okay, you cannot put some customized VMs over there, customized images. You need to come uh, need to connect with the vendors, like, can I do this, can I do this, can I do this? But over here you have full control, you fully have a control. So nowadays AI is coming. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to deploy something like run.io, you want to deploy some other applications, you have a customized images which we required to deploy through a with the NVIDIA, right? So you can do it. by your own. So you have a VM, do whatever you want to deploy. In the bare metal, if you have a GPUs, yes, you can use your GPUs as well over there. Okay, so you can use a virtual GPUs. So it's totally depend upon you how you want to drive it. Now let's just talk about 17 version right now. OpenStack 17 version. What is there in OpenStack 17 version right now? So in the OpenStack version 17, it's basically released in 2018. Okay, so based on OpenStack Queens, it's released, and this version introduced very powerful feature of AI, networking, automation, and the features like we talk about Nova. So it supports virtual GPUs, which is very much required for AI and machine learning, and NUMA technology, okay, for optimizing CPU performance, okay, NVF, which is network function virtualizations, which is very critical in telecom, okay. And if you talk about Neutron over here, so they offer SRIOVs, DVRS for high speed networking, okay, VXLAN, GRE, okay, for scalable network overlay networking, you required it. Okay, talk about Cinder over here. So Cinder enable the multiple attached volumes, like allowing multiple VMs to access the same storage, plus robust backup and restores you can able to perform using a Cinder. Because generally, Cinder, if you talk about Swift, we can create a backend as a Cinder. Other applications, Glance applications, we can use as a Cinder as a backup. So it's a kind of storage you have. So heat, what does it do? It will, as you talk about, it's auto scaling part, okay, so that app can grow with demand, and Ansible templates are there for automations, so you don't need to do manual work over here. Okay, talk about Ironic. Okay, so Ironic, what does it do? It will manage the bare metal servers. Okay, it manages the bare metal servers using Redfish APIs and other APIs as well. So it's very ideal for NVFI deployments on Dell or HP hardwares. Okay, talk about OpenShift integrations. Yeah, so you can run your containerized workload via Magnum. Okay, that is again a service over here. Bridge the VMs and containers, and talk about director. So it's using Ansible automations, making very much faster and even error free. That's the main thing. So these features make RHOSP 17 a powerhouse for enterprise, especially in telecoms, where NVF support 5G networking. The NVF diagrams are you already have seen this part a lot of times. Okay, so moving forward, if we talk about, so we'll talk about the latest thing over here now, which is RHOSP 18. Okay, so RHOSP 18, as we just discussed the 17 part, so now to just talk about RHOSP 18. Okay, we just talk about RHOSP 18 over here. So RHOSP is based on Rocky. Okay, is based on a Rocky of you can say that of OpenStack, and RHOSP 18 is built on RHOSP 17, which enhancement of edge computing and operations. Okay, so just whatever we have in 17, we have there in 18 as well, but just the add-ons. What exactly more thing we are getting into the 18 over here? So which will include volume backup rebuild. Okay, so back to rebuild over there, allow VM to reconfigure without data loss and optimize placement APIs. So this is all the feature you are getting. Neutron, floating IP port forwarding, OVS DPDK, L3 part for reliable computing, OVS DPK basically for high performance networking. Okay, you will getting Cinder over here. What we are getting over here is we will volume migrations are there, generic volume groups are there for flexible storage over there. Swift, if you talk about in the Swift, we will have small object performance and order encryption of the security, right? Uh, Trailing parts, which enabling the edge computing, which is very much requirement for 5G and IoTs. Okay, processing data closer to user like at a cell tower. Okay, uh, Cyborg. Okay, which is escalating the GPUs, FPGAs, enabling AI workload, which is very much important nowadays. Okay, so everyone is on AI right now. Okay, and director again, it's a simplified upgrade, enhance the automations part we have. So RHOS is ideal for edge applications like 5G and telco or IG. Uh, if you are working on healthcare, if you are working on banking part, so it's again very good part if you want to work on this in-house cloud. Okay, talk about the second next slide, where we will talk about what is the difference between 17 and 18. Okay, ultimately it's top on 18, but the performance basis. So RHOSP 17 introduced the vGPUs, SRIOV, but 18 have added the OVS, DPDK, and volume backup rebuild for better performance. Okay, they have this also 18, but they have added this also 18. If you talk about edge computing, so RHOSP 17 support distributed computing nodes. Okay, but 18 support distributed also, but they will also support streaming, which will be make edge computing robust for 5G and 6G. Okay, talk about escalators. So 17 have GPUs, support vGPUs. 18 is a Cerberus message with GPUs and FPGA for AI workloads. Okay, talk about 18s. So OpenStack RHOSP is simply upgraded, but improve the Horizon dashboard as well. Okay, from where you will manage all the details. Talk about OpenShift features. So in 18, they will offer the tighter integrations with hybrid cloud, but we don't have that in a 17. So nowadays, what exactly you have to do is let's suppose if I just tell you why using the diagram in OpenStack 17. If you talk about 17, you will install your data node. I'm talking about over here is a triple O performance. So you will use your controller nodes, you will use your compute nodes. Okay, but you will deploy everything over there, right? But in 18, if you talk about, so your director node, okay, your director node, your controller node would be on OpenShift, okay, and your compute node would be a bare metal one. So in this case, everything would be a containerized, okay, and you do not require additional hardware for controllers and director nodes, which will be very good part, okay. And yeah, you will get experience of OpenStack over here and OpenShift as well, okay, which is very much useful. Okay, okay, let's forward, continue. Okay, so what is the future of private cloud, which is very much asked by the candidates. Okay, so if we talk about future of private cloud, so smarter hybrid clouds. Okay, it's a smarter hybrid cloud. So basically, if you talk about RHOSP here, let me just open this part. Yeah. So if you talk about Smarter hybrid cloud, RHOSP will blended with OpenShift. It's a Kubernetes based to run the workloads. Let me just, I'll just make it more visible to you. Okay, so it's run on a new apps together, simulations and everything you will get over here. Uh, Example feature like banking will manage and secure the things. Uh, chatbots on one cloud, it support. Okay, and if you talk about Edge one here, if you talk about Edge one here, so RHOSP will power 6G network as well, and with the smart devices. So like drones, by processing data closer to the users, you will get a expected smaller and faster cloud for a real-time task like self-driving cars. So nowadays, why the telcos and bankings are using this because of this, because they don't need to be give the data to the cloud. Why? If you're putting your data on a cloud, okay, ultimately you're sharing your technologies. Right. So let's suppose if you're deploying your AWS, okay, if you're deploying other, I'm not saying that this is a wrong thing. Yeah, but it's totally dependent upon your network. Okay. So let's suppose if you're providing your data to the cloud, okay, public cloud. So ultimately you are sharing your data. So nowadays everyone need your own prem data. So as a government one, as a banking sector, as a healthcare, everyone required their own private clouds. Okay, so that's why for this processing and everything, you can use this part AI power cloud. Okay, so now let's suppose you are building your VMs on a on-prem, okay, and let's suppose if you don't have a GPU, okay, ultimately expensive part. So if you don't have a GPU, so you can use that part, right? You can use the API from the cloud and deploy the VMs on your on-prem, which is very much useful. Okay, automation everywhere. Tools like Ansible, OpenShift, Go operators will make a cloud installation update very flexible. Greener cloud, stronger security. Uh, challenge ahead, which is excited part for private and public cloud and GI and a green tech part. Telco AI researchers readiness. So that's why I'm saying 90% of the telco and banking sector now moving to the OpenStack. Okay, because they need their own environment. Okay, why I'm saying this again and again, because this is the main thing they are doing. Okay, okay. Now, I hope you have any questions. Okay. So now just move to the next slide, which is industry use cases. Okay. So as we already talked, like in the telco part, we have NVF, we have 5G edge computings. Okay. We have uh, we have edge computing. This is and 100 million subscribers are there. AT&T and everything is an example of that. Banking sector like fraud detection, analytics, BBB processes, and almost 90 million transactions are there. Healthcare, retail, researchers for big data simultaneously, uh, e-commerce, analytics. So everyone is using because nowadays people are thinking like if you are using the GPUs, if you are going to purchase, let's suppose H100, 8 GPUs, right? And you're taking a big server from the Dell. Okay. Uh, yes, you can use it for multiple purpose, right? Multiple applications you can deploy, multiple things you can able to deploy on that machines. Okay, use cases you can deploy locally. You are deploying that part. Okay, and if you want to showcase to your POCs to the customers and everything, yes, it's very easy for you to work on that. Okay, instead of going on a cloud, because ultimately they are going to charge you for everything, and it's not that cheap. Like if you're going on a cloud, it's not that cheap if you're thinking. Okay, so this is the conclusion of what we have gone, and I'm very happy to tell you more about OpenStack. And if you are very eager to learn OpenStack, we are happy to welcome you in a KR network. So if you have any questions, anything, please let us know the KR network, and we can talk about that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.